Hey, Kurt, I've been thinking a lot lately about Jim Halpert and Dwight Schrute. And I often just laugh at those two characters. And I imagine, like, if somebody in the office or the system that we find ourselves in regularly would put their stapler in a jello mold, that it would lead to all kinds of incivility. And you wonder, why do you care about incivility? Well, it is a costly thing in the workplace.
Hey everybody, welcome to Live Fully, Lead Authentically. My name is Kurt Busch, co-founder of Brimstone Coaching Group, and you just heard my friend and co-founder Chris Godfredson talk about The Office. Chris, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. There's nothing going on. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
awesome.
it's
Yeah, no, it's great. And isn't like isn't the like the I think that The Office is funny because it's true, right?
yes.
And that's always the thing with comedy is like it's the stuff that's funniest is funny because it's true.
Yeah.
And comedians are great at that. I'm no comedian. I'm the straight man typically. Yeah.
Oh, I
But
thought there was a butt coming
no,
up.
there's no but. Well, I just came across this piece not long ago, and the SHRM. I'm going to butcher the what the words to the acronym are, but this is HR stuff.
Society for
And
HR Managers, I think.
yeah, yeah, Society for Human Resource Managers. And it's a phenomenal organization. And the content, the stuff that they're researching and putting out into the world is pretty great. And I came across a piece a while back, and then I went to look before we hopped on today. And it is a $2.7 billion a day loss for employers in the United States. And that is all the more reason for people to engage in the work that we do, right? And that's what we wanted to talk about today is like just that whole idea. And yeah, so that's why I've been thinking about Dwight and Jim Halpert, and man, he was antagonizing him all the time, right?
Uh-huh. Yep. And you said billion with a B, right?
Yeah, billion with a
Billion
B.
with a B. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
a shocking number.
Isn't it?
Um, yeah, and I think what's so interesting, I mean, you and I share the same opinion on The Office. I love it. It's top three
Yeah.
TV
Yeah.
shows for me. I love it. I also have a theory that if you can't place yourself in The Office as a character, you probably like if you can't find the character around you, you're probably the
Yeah.
character you can't find. Uh,
Denial is not just a river in Egypt, is it?
I am scared to death of being Michael Scott.
Right? Who isn't? And oh.
Yep, yep.
And oh, wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I think you're right. Like this stuff is hilarious. Like I love
Yeah.
Jim and Dwight. That dynamic is amazing. And like it goes in real life, if somebody was to put a stapler in a Jello mold, this goes beyond just like, oh, you did a funny thing. Like there's an actual
Yeah.
cost to the time before and after, to the
Mhm.
time the next week when my stapler
Yeah.
goes missing again and I'm thinking about Jim or whatever. Like help us, I don't know, help the audience, the listeners unpack the cost of like
Hmm.
why does it get into the billions?
Well, so one number I saw, and I'm trying to find it again in this moment as I'm looking, but I want to say that the average lost time, uh, the average amount of lost time per uh, experience of incivility is between 30 and 37 minutes, I think.
Wow.
So think about that. Somebody stops by your desk and makes a rude comment or something that is out of bounds, typically, and that's how long it takes to in my way of thinking, to return to steadiness,
Yeah.
right? So I get knocked off kilter, I get knocked off center. It feels like the feet under I cannot find firm ground. My feet are, everything is unstable. And so all kinds of things happen when that occurs, right? And if it takes a half an hour to get back to square one, think about the lost time there. That's how it's measured. It's in lost effectiveness, productivity, and the impact that it has on individual human beings getting back to grounded, getting
Yeah.
back to their center. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's really fascinating. I've shared, can I share a story?
Yeah, I'd love to hear a story.
I know that you've heard this. I've said this like live when we're together. I don't know that I've ever said it on the pod, but I used to work for a person who ran a daily meeting.
Hmm.
It was in a manufacturing plant. They ran a daily meeting in the same conference room every day. It was sort of like how have the last 24 hours of production been, any issues, what do we need to know, all that kind of stuff. Um, and this person would sit, the person running the meeting would sit at the head of this long conference table. You know the one,
Hmm. Yeah.
long chairs all the way down the side. And, you know, like this is in the middle of a production day, so there's a lot of people doing a lot of things. And it was pretty common that somebody would walk in a minute, 2 minutes late,
Mm.
whatever. And the person at the head of the table would look at the person, start slow clapping and say their name. Like
Ah.
if you walked in, he would say, "Chris, everybody," and he'd be clapping. Like make this scene, right?
He might have said that once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a rather small human,
Oh,
so
yeah.
I think
Well,
there would have been a size discrepancy for
it
sure,
could have been.
a
Yeah.
height discrepancy. So, like I remember on more than one occasion that was me because I was supervising humans and like I got a thing going on and I'm late, and yeah, half an hour to get back to square one, and like I would call
Yeah.
it incivility,
Hmm. Yeah.
unwelcome commentary. Uh,
Right.
Half an hour was generous. Like half an hour to get back
Sure.
to where like I'm not
Yeah.
embarrassed. I'm not stressing out about what this means for the rest of my day. I'm not feeling like I got called out. Half an hour is generous.
Right. Well, think about it. Like, so today that would bother you less.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would take less time for you to engage with because of the emotional maturity work that you've done in your life. You will not be paralyzed by those things the way in which some people are.
Yeah.
And that's also not to say, I also don't want to say that that never happens to you.
Right.
Like, I think I did something last weekend that caused you maybe to be stirred up a little bit. And and so what that does, like it creates moments where we get to understand and manage ourselves.
Yeah.
But when we don't know how to do that, yeah, you're right. It's generous to say it's only a half an hour.
Yeah.
Like I remember moments where I would receive a phone call from a customer who was unhappy with uh, the product that I put out into the world, and then when it would get personal or
Yeah.
demeaning or any of those things, yeah, to say a half an hour, that's laughable. It would be a half a day or
Yeah.
a week, right? I mean, the impact is significant. And employers, we have a heart for employers, and we have a heart for team members, right? So when people experience incivility, like it's no wonder that time is lost because I don't know, the person, here's how I like to say it. Whoever it is that said sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me, that person is an idiot.
I think that's a gentle, that's like a gracious name to call them.
Yeah, welfare. it, it's simply not true,
Yeah. Yeah.
even for the hardest among us.
Yeah.
Like the air quote toughest among us still feels these things and has to deal with these things, and so uh, it's worth just having that out in the world for people to be aware of and to get to wrestle with.
let me poke on something a little bit.
Yeah.
I shared with you my example, and your response back was, I would I would like get beyond that moment faster, or the incivility would take less time today to get over or through than it would then. I
Hmm.
think what's interesting what you just said that I want to highlight is you didn't say, and this isn't an episode about how to get that guy to do
Hmm.
something different. The episode, the question is, how do I show up in them and build tools
Yeah.
to where my response doesn't hold me back for 30, 35 minutes, half a day, whatever it is. This is not a
Hmm.
question about how do we get others to change and be more civil. We assume people are going to be ins uncivil.
They're going to be, we assume people are going to be civil.
Uh,
And when they aren't,
yeah,
right,
I,
it's, oh,
yeah. I assume that
jarring.
guy. I assume that guy is going, well, once I know that I'm going to walk into a room and get my name slow clapped, I assume that's going to
Oh,
happen again.
yeah, you're anticipating the incivility. Yep.
Yeah. So I'm hearing you correctly. I know I'm hearing you, but for the audience, you're not saying how do you change that person to be more civil? You're saying how do we build tools to where we can be less reactive and less triggered to those, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I, I would love it if that guy knew what he was doing and knew the impact of his slow clap. Because what's true about that act and that way of being is it didn't just impact that person who
Oh,
was late, right? Everybody around the table had some kind of reaction. They
yeah.
were different reactions because the people are different, but there's probably a similar response in that, oh, here we go. And yeah, now, oh, so then somebody gets into caretaking mode, somebody else gets into uh, demeaning the leader mode. I mean, there's the impact is far reaching, but the only thing that you and I have any control over in a situation like that is you and I. Like
Yeah.
the only thing I have any control over is me and how I engage with what has happened and
Yeah.
with myself, right? So I want it to be your fault, and I want you to take responsibility for the way I'm behaving on this side of what you said or did, but that's just not the way I think about things. That's not the way, well, family systems theory would think. I don't think that that's the way that other ways of thinking and being theologically that's not accurate. Like I'm responsible for me.
Yeah.
And so in that then we get to like know why we're bothered and uh, yeah, try to find ways to engage that are healthy and redeeming that get me back to square one as quickly as I can, right? And so yeah, yeah, I could like rant for a while and I want to hang up and listen.
Well, I was going to ask you another question.
Yeah,
So,
ask the question.
uh, I like what you said earlier. You use the example, somebody walks by your desk, they stop and they make a rude comment, or they make a
Hmm.
like an underhanded comment about your work or whatever it is. Like these are
Hmm.
common situations. Or maybe it's even like something that triggers the caretaker. And I love that you talked about the caretaker. Maybe it's somebody who says, "Can you believe Sally over there?" And then that
Yep.
makes us jump into caretaker mode. We're not on square
Yeah.
one. Um,
Yeah.
what's let's talk practical. What's a
Mm.
practice or a rhythm that
Mm.
begins to like calm us, begins to allow us to face incivility in a more regulated way?
Yep. So I think I've talked about this. If I haven't, whatever, doesn't matter. Here we go. Like
Yeah.
this is what's emerged for me in recent months. And this is not new. Like Viktor Frankl would have talked about there's a great opportunity between uh reaction and stimuli. stimuli and reaction, right? That's the space where opportunity is created. And what I would call a my pro tip, our pro tip is to pause, reflect, and observe. And if I can pause for just a minute to go, get my breathing, notice my feet on the ground. Oh, and then I can reflect a little bit. What's a threat is my favorite question. You like to ask what's true. I can like touch my head, my face, like, oh, like I'm here, I'm present. And and then if I can observe what is like the how you are responding,
Yeah.
and if I can observe how I'm feeling and all of the things, well, then I can get into I have agency, and I'm beginning to develop this idea that takes it a little bit further. I haven't run this by you yet, but here we go. This is free or it's edited out. uh, you are the pod king, so you get to choose. And so we talk a lot about promises, right? And so we believe leadership is promise shaped. We're either leading from the one that we've used to protect ourselves at all costs, or we're leading from one that somebody else gave us, or we're leading from a promise that we prefer. So if we can pause, reflect, observe, make meaning or mine for meaning, think about the impact, return to steady, and then re-engage or engage in the world. Promise, I just spelled it out. You see that? I think then there's opportunities for us to behave in ways that get us back to being anchored, aligned, accountable for our behavior in ways that are really helpful for us in the world. How do you hear that?
Yeah. Number one, pro tip. I mean,
Mm.
I see what you did there with pro tip.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I hear that. I hear that with a tremendous amount of challenge,
Mm-hmm.
meaning how hard it is to pause and reflect
Oh,
and observe.
yes.
And I'm sitting here, I'm mindful to this idea that yes, it's challenging. Pausing, like getting on top of our emotions is really hard. Getting on top of what we're feeling is really hard.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
and and I'm present to the fact that if I want a different result, I have to do something different.
Yeah,
So if
right.
as hard as pausing and reflecting and observing is, if I want to get back to square one quicker, I'm gonna have to try something different than just sitting there and
Mhm.
being mad at Jim over there for whatever
Yeah,
he said.
exactly right.
Yeah,
The reality is, uh, yeah, several things like the autonomic nervous system kicks into gear so fast that we are reacting before our brains ever make sense of it. Then
yeah,
neuroscience would say that our brains are guessing at what's coming next based on previous experience, right? So when these things happen, we just get into gear so quickly
yeah,
that we like just it is necessary work to build in at the very least anytime anything happens, just
yeah,
as a like to tell ourselves, don't do anything. Like,
yeah,
stop. Uh,
yeah,
and like, I'm not a stop it or try harder, do better. That
yeah,
doesn't work in any environment for me.
yeah,
But to be able to get my breath so I can assess, I can ask, I can make a determination here.
yeah,
Do I want to like engage in the incivility? Am I going to push back? Am I going to do what I typically do when my autopilot response, my autopilot reactivity kicks in? Or do I want to be more thoughtful? And because what happens is we just simply lose access to our best thinking
yeah.
when that those moments that aren't civil happen.
It's hard. I don't know what the word is.
Yeah, I know. I don't know.
Yeah,
When those jacked up moments happen, do I want to respond as one who is jacked up because I can? I'm good at it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
sometimes, unfortunately, I still do it because the autopilot kicks in and I'm like, oh crap.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, we probably should talk about at some, before we log off, talk about how we clean up a mess when the autopilot kicks in and we didn't want it to. But the it, it happens
Yeah.
lightning fast.
Yeah. I mean, I think the thing that I would want to say is we happen to have a framework for this. We
Hmm.
happen to have a
Yeah.
transformational equation for this.
Yeah. Right.
Uh, you know,
Talk about that.
we happen to believe that that every one of these moments where someone is not civil. See, like I
Yeah.
can't even say the word.
I think they're uncivil. Yeah.
There's moments when we have an encounter with someone who's not civil. Those are encounters
Yeah.
that trip us up. In
Yep.
our transformational equation, that's E, encounter. And when we have one of those, we have the opportunity to reflect and say, what
Yeah.
happened? Who was involved?
Hmm.
What did I feel? What did I do, and what would I want to do different next time? Because again, I think it's worth saying, Jim's gonna put my stapler in Jello again.
Yeah.
If we're gonna go all the way back to the beginning,
Yeah.
there's
Jim's
gonna
gonna do what Jim is gonna Jim.
Jim is gonna Jim. I like that. Jim is gonna
And
Jim.
and and I love what so you highlighted something that was important that you heard me say, and I'm gonna highlight that you have the same perspective. What I heard you say when you reflect on the encounter is how did I show, what was the circumstances, what happened, how did I show up, what did I do? In essence, you said, what did I contribute, and what do I want to, how would I rather be, or what would I have rather done in that moment? Because those things, you are taking responsibility for yourself
Yeah,
in a moment like that. And again, that's the only thing you have any opportunity to really manage is yourself. And so I love that you get that. This is why I love working with you. And because like this isn't, it's not natural.
right. Yeah,
What I would
what is
say is,
natural?
well, the autopilot, what we've always done,
Yeah,
right? And so that's where it really is shocking or surprising when somebody starts to show up differently.
yeah.
And and that then is that leads to that final piece of the equation. When you take encounter plus reflection, you get something. If you engage it well, what's that?
Transformation, my man.
Hey,
Uh,
yeah,
we think transformation happens because once we see something, we can't unsee it.
yeah.
If I can uncover something that I wish was different in my reactions or my responses, I will not do anything different until I can see what's true
Hmm.
or what's so. And I actually do, I mean, there's always exceptions to the rule, but I think most adult leaders are going to do that piece that makes that a motivating piece to say, "Ooh,
Hmm.
I didn't like that." Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's as close to a silver bullet as we can give. I'm not sure
Hmm.
there is a silver bullet or a magic
No.
trick. I'm not sure there is any magic, but I think that's as close as we can get to a surefire way to transformation and to quicker time to go from triggered when someone's not civil with us back to
Yeah.
square one where we can be full in and full focused into what we're doing.
Yeah, a thoughtful response
Yeah,
rather than an anxious reaction. And what I think what I heard you say is is that the equation doesn't eliminate the reaction.
no,
The reaction is going to come. It happens, right?
yeah,
It's am I willing to pause, reflect, observe, to spend the time necessary after the fact to reflect on that moment that shocked and surprised us. And often, so the the moments of incivility may shock us as it relates to the other person or the thing that they said or the activity that took place that is jarring. But oftentimes, the thing that's most jarring, I wonder how if you would see this the same way as I do, or the most surprising, is the way I show up in it.
Yeah. Yeah. What do I want to say about that? Can I give you an example? I, I
No.
I got nothing but stories, Chris. Uh,
Yes.
I have a 16-year-old, you know this,
Yeah, you do.
who is an Astros fan. Uh, I hate the Astros. Absolutely
Well,
hate them.
I mean, understandable.
They they threw a combined no-hitter the other day, um,
Yeah.
which I don't care about. Great.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Call me when one pitcher
Whose
does it.
record book is
Yeah.
that in?
Yeah.
Nobody's.
Who
Yeah.
cares, right? So
Right.
my 16-year-old also happens to be D1 gaslighter, which means like
Mm.
he could get a college scholarship for gaslighting. He's
Yeah.
he's real good at it, especially with
Mhm.
me.
Yeah.
So we had a little debate the other day about this combined no hitter, and before long, it was like a full on argument. And like I
Mhm.
look over and he's like smirking at me, and I hate how I've shown up, right? So
Mhm.
I leave this conversation. I'm like, I hate this so much. I lost complete control of myself arguing over this stupid combined no hitter. Like, and when
And he's like, got him.
I say D1 gaslighter because I actually don't think he even like I don't think he even believes what
Yeah.
he's arguing, right?
He just knew it lit you up.
Yep, yep. So I think in all of this, the shock, like he is going to continue to gaslight because he's got a scholarship and he has to.
Yeah.
Uh,
Right.
like he's going to do that. And in part, I think somehow he thinks that's something we do for fun, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
Right.
he's going to keep doing that. I then have a decision of
Mhm.
how I'm going to show up, and
Yeah.
so I don't get to the place where I leave and I'm like, I don't like that, you know.
Yeah.
But
Right.
I think to your point of like the shock is not it's happening again. The shock
Yeah.
is like, oh, I missed it again. Can I rein it back real
Mhm.
time? Or the shock is like, oh, I'm doing this differently. That's sort of the real time realization for me in some of those. I don't know if that answers your question, but
Well,
I
I
think
think,
that is
yeah.
what's kind of stirring in my brain is
Yeah. I think so. Like, because there are times when somebody says something or does something that it is like, oh my word. I'm stuck on the word jarring today, but where it is shocking and
yeah,
it knocks us off balance.
yeah,
But anymore, I think what has what has my attention more is when I feel as though like I should have responded better or differently. It's like I should be far enough down the road, right? I don't need like why am I still so reactive? Well,
yeah,
I know all the theory. I
yeah,
know the stuff. I know why it happens. I know why I do what I do when I do it. And then sometimes I still do it and I have to, oh, good
yeah,
grief. Um,
yeah,
and that's really worth me paying attention to.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
So
love that. I love
yeah.
that. Let's land the plane, Chris. Uh, uh,
Okay.
what 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 do you want to say? Like, if you're someone listening right now who has employees who
Hmm.
who knows that there's some stapler and jello action going on, there's some rude comments at the desk happening. What would you want to say to that employer? Like, why do the work? I mean, I know we talked about the billions of dollars,
Yeah.
but like
Well,
money's not always a motivator. Like, why do the work? And if they want to like get a hold of us, like, what's a first step we would ask someone like that to take?
sure. Let me answer that one first. The first step in leaning into this with us
Yeah,
is to go to our website, brimstonecoachinggroup.com, and there you can find a tab to schedule a free inquiry call with either one of us, and we would be happy to have a conversation about this. I think the what I would say to an employer, even to team leaders, to people uh, are who oversee other humans, say, what kind of environment do you want to create?
Yeah, it's good.
What kind of environment do you personally thrive in? And is that happening at the moment? Is the culture thriving or not? And if it isn't, there are reasons for that, and largely it could be from a lack of awareness. And so we are like just we stuck our toe in the water today on a topic around the way in which humans interact with other humans. And if that struck a nerve or struck a chord with you, and we would love to sit down and have a conversation about how we can help you and your team see things more clearly, how we can hold up a mirror, perhaps, or even just reveal some things. And that's why we do workshops around this kind of stuff, where we help people begin to see it. We just simply can move the hand from in front of your face because oftentimes it's right there. We just can't see it. And to your point, Kurt, you talked about once we see it, we can't unsee it. And then you have choices to make. And hopefully you've seen or heard something today that like gets at something that you've known and have avoided because, like, oh, I don't know how to deal with that. Well, we do. And we have a way, we have pathways that you can engage that will help your people grow. And the
Yep.
reality is, any leader who isn't continuing their own life of learning and leading uh, is disqualified really from leading. So, like, what if we do the work?
Yeah.
And we would love to train your team on how to lean into this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, well said. Thanks for the
Hmm.
conversation, Chris. Yeah, brimstonecoachinggroup.com. I'll say it one more time. Chris, thanks for engaging this.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time.
Yeah. Sounds good.